But I wanted to start off and to give a big shout out to Amy Naples and the Plymouth. The folks in this community definitely lucky as far as the support that you provide, and I appreciate what you did to help us pull together today's visit. So thank you very much, Amy. But as far, in addition to Congressman Keating, we also have State Senator Vinny DiMacedo. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Perfect. And we also have Representative Pat Muratori. So thank you, gentlemen, for being
Representative.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Representative.
This is her district.
Yeah, fantastic. But I appreciate Raquel and Bob for opening up your facility for us to try to promote Small Business Saturday. So just a couple quick comments on Small Business Saturday. It's important to know that 68 cents of every dollar that is spent at a small business stays in the community. And that's why shopping small, dining small, supporting small business is so critical, because small businesses are the glue that binds communities, and so we're looking for everyone to not only shop and dine small on Small Business Saturday, but to do it every day and to continue to support small businesses. But Congressman Keating, you want to share some remarks with folks?
Thank you. A couple of Congresses ago, I was on the Small Business Committee and to know SBA. I also mentioned that my next door neighbor in Bourne was the national chair of SCORE over the last year at least. So this morning we'll see all three different types of assistance to small business that we'll get. We'll see the SBA, which will be here with our host Mulaney's. Congratulations. What a beautiful place this is. Then we're going to go, I think, to Flair Floral, and we'll get to see the story about how SCORE is helpful in that regard. And then on our last stop, we'll get to see the state's economic involvement that's there as well, and learn that story. So we're going to actually this morning have the chance to see three different main channels in which government, working with the private side and the local chambers and local businesses work together. Because the fuel of our country in terms of economic growth comes from small businesses. 2/3 of the growth comes from small businesses. And in the U.S., there's approximately 30 million small businesses. In Massachusetts, I think 652,000 small businesses just in our state. And in my district alone, in the last year recorded, that there were $84 million just in my district alone in small business loans. So that's 540 loans roughly that are there. So you can see the impact. And one thing that's so important is small businesses in terms of expertise, and that's where SCORE comes in and the state programs come in, as well as the federal programs. It's just razor thin to get off the ground, because you really, capital is not there. You know, you're smaller and you don't have the resources to keep up with so many things you have to keep up with. And if you can incubate those small businesses to go from point A to point B, as we've seen here is a great example, that makes a huge difference. That could be the difference between having a business or not having a business, having jobs or not having jobs. This morning is very thoughtfully planned. I appreciate that. And I'm sure my colleagues here have the same feeling, because we are going to see three of the real ways that coming together with the public and the private side, how we can push those businesses, get them off the ground, and create revenue locally, make stronger communities, and more jobs. So this is something we're pleased to see, and pleased that's right here in a community like Plymouth, which is going through so much growth in so many respects, and in so many ways, this is a great story too of Plymouth, because you've got history right here, dating back, over centuries, and seeing the transformation into a modern Plymouth. And I think we're seeing it downtown. We're going to celebrate it with the 400th right here in Plymouth, but we see it day to day. So the history of our country in some respects, can be traced through the history of small businesses. And here we are in America's hometown doing it. So thank you for putting this together for us.
Fantastic. Senator, would you like to share any remarks with the group?
No, I'm just, anything that has to do with small business is something that I've been obviously very supportive. It's why I got into politics 20-something years ago as a small business owner myself, and I continue to be. I agree that, small businesses are the lifeblood. It's the, where do people go when they're looking for support? It's generally the local small businesses that care about the community and the community they invest in. And so I've always been a big supporter of the concept of empowering small businesses and to make it easier for them to survive, because as you shared, it's always a challenge because you don't have the lobbying, the lobbying ability, you don't have the attorneys at your disposal. You are oftentimes chief bottle washer, whatever it is, how that saying goes. Thank you, chief cook, bottle washer. Thank you very much.
He's in the gasoline business.
Exactly. So I just pump gas and count money. But at any rate, but the reality is that it's they're the ones that have that entrepreneurial spirit that make things happen. And I just love going to small businesses. A corporation probably wouldn't have come into a facility like this. It's the small businesses that go and try to make something special and unique. And when you understand some of the unique aspects that are here, like the vines from, where are those? Napa Valley. From Napa Valley. It's just that little creativity that is the extra that makes something warm and that people will remember happen because of someone's creative entrepreneurial spirit. And I'm just a huge fan of that. So when you chose Plymouth to highlight small business, we were thrilled because we have so many small businesses. It's most of the businesses that operate here are small, little independent businesses that make up the employment opportunities for our constituents, and we're so grateful for that. My colleague Matt, small business owner, I'm a small business owner. We appreciate that, that, and we want to encourage that. So when we see our government, trying to foster and build that, we really appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoy Plymouth, because as you shared earlier, what's happening 2 years from now is really going to be something unique to highlight the founding of this nation, and frankly, the founding of democracy per se, individual liberty, happened right here in America, and it spread throughout the entire world. And we think that people are going to be, not just in Massachusetts or in the nation, but the entire world is going to be looking at Massachusetts and saying, obviously Plymouth specifically, this is where it all started. And there's going to be a lot of attention. It's going to help a lot of businesses. But I think it's even deeper than that. I think it's a lot of individuals. So to that extent, thank you for having me. I didn't know I was going to say a few words. I'm sorry. I got excited.
It's definitely one of the best parts of my job. I get to pick where we go and to visit small businesses. It's really a luxury to see the impact that we're able to achieve with the SBA programs and our partners. Representative, you want to share it?
Sure, I'll be a lot quicker than that.
Well, thank you. That was good. Anyone else?
But yeah, thank you to the chamber. Thank you to you folks for coming here and picking Plymouth. As Vinny said, small business owner as well. Really appreciate what small businesses do. But Bob and Raquel I've known for many, many years now, and this isn't their first venture in business in Plymouth. They actually were in healthcare a few years back before they did this. So they've always been very successful. So we appreciate what you've done for this community, for doing this, what you've done in the past, and what you continue to do for the community. So thank you so much for continued success.
Thank you. Representative Black, would you like to share any comments?
Yes, thank you. This is so exciting to me. I was just sharing that my first small business, I had an SBA loan, and I worked with retired executives to get that SBA loan and have a business plan. So to see it just evolve, and my children interested in opening their own businesses, this is so important to me. And thank you for including me, Amy. It's been a beautiful place you have here. Thank you very much.
So as far as the SBA Massachusetts, I'm really lucky with the team that we have and the partners that we have. Norman Eng is my public information officer and helps me with economic development in Boston and going down south. But Rod Clark is our chapter chair of the SCORE chapter, serving this area of the state. And we have Cliff Robbins, who is with the Small Business Development Center in Southeast, and does a phenomenal job with free services as far as counseling and mentoring. And so as far as the SBA last year, the government's fiscal year ended September 30th. In Massachusetts alone, we did over $750 million in loans to small businesses. These are loans that would not have been possible if it weren't for the help of the SBA guarantee, but our lenders, because we don't lend the money directly. The lenders make the loan, we help them get to the yes decision. Charles Smith and his team from Eastern Bank, the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts and in New England, and in the top 100 nationwide, helping a lot of small businesses with access to capital. But you know, between SCORE, the Small Business Development Center, our Women's Center, we counseled and trained over 30,000 entrepreneurs in Massachusetts. And so it's all of us together in partnerships with chambers and economic development organizations. It's all what makes it happen. And we really are doing some amazing things with the SBA programs here. But I want to turn it over to the small business owners, because this is what it's really about. It's about you taking the risk, this beautiful project that you've invited us in to tour, to visit with. So want to share some of your story as far as your business?
Sure. I've been working with the SBA since I started my first business back in the early 90s. I originally worked, I think it was still called SCORE back then, but there were executives that helped me get going in a small $25,000 loan. And every business I've had since then, we've had help from the SBA, so we appreciate that. Eastern Bank's been great. I only know Suzanne until today. I see the other faces, but I work directly with her for whatever funding we need, and I'm sure she's pretty sick of me by now. But the SBA's been great help to us in every business that we've owned.
I think Bob and I have learned very early on in our lives that we are serial entrepreneurs, and as Representative Matt has alluded to, we've had multiple small businesses. I didn't realize I was a serial entrepreneur until I kept leaving a job every 2 years, and my husband said to me, "Baby, what do you think the common denominator is?" So he had to help me find my entrepreneurial spirit, and my first gig was Comfort Keepers, which was a healthcare company that Matt alluded to. 15 years of our lives was dedicated to helping elderly folks, but now we are going to help everybody relax with wine and weddings. So we're very, very happy that you're here today. And thank you to Lori, who is my Eastern Bank connection. Where are you, Lori? There you are. Bob may deal with Suzanne, but on a day-to-day basis, I harass Lori down at her branch. So Eastern Bank is the banker to the stars as far as I'm concerned. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that Eastern Bank does for us.
Great. We want to get together for a group picture? Do a couple of shots?
I bet you they have a